Welcome. I'm N.S. Lavanya, Assistant Professor, Department of English, KCS Kasinadar College of Arts and Science. In this video, you are going to learn brief history of translation in Introduction to Translation Studies. It is not complete without consideration of the historical perspective of translation studies. Basic lines of approach to translation have emerged at different periods of European and American culture, and the role and function of translation has varied. The difference between word for word and sense for sense translation established within the Roman system is continued to a point of debate. The relationship between translation and nationalism shed light on the significance of differing concepts of culture. Bible translators were persecuted when they were avidly translating and retranslating classical Greek and Roman authors. Thus, it is an important link in the chain of the development of capitalism and decline of feudalism. The great English-German translators connects with the changing concepts of role of the individual in the social context. We see the period of study. George Steiner in After Babel divides the literature on the theory, practice and history of translation into 4 periods. The first period extends from the statesmen of Cicero and Horace on translation up to the publication of Titus' essay on the principles of translation in 1791. The central point of this period is that the statements and theories about translation stem directly from the practical work of translating. The second period extends up to the publication of Source Invocation 2. It is characterized as a period of theory and enquiry with the development of vocabulary and methodology of approaching translation. Third period begins with the publication of the first papers on machine translation in 1940 and is marked to be the introduction of structural linguistics. The fourth period has its origins in the early 1960s and sets the discipline in a wide frame that includes a number of other disciplines. T.R. Steiner analyzes English translation theory between 1650 to 1800, starting with Denham and ending with William Cowper. He examines the 18th century translator as painter or imitator. Andre Lefebvre compiled a collection of statements and documents on translation that traces the establishment of a German tradition of translation. There is a large body of literature that attempts to decide who is medieval, Petrarch or Chaucer, Rabelais or Dante. The debate goes on. The German tradition starts with Luther and moves to Gottsched and Goethe to Schlegel and Schleiermacher and finally to Rosenzweig. F.O. Mattheson analyzes 4 major English translators of the 16th century: Hobby, North, Florio, and Philemon Holland. Timothy Webb, in his study of Shelley as a translator, analyzes the work of an individual translator in relation to the rest of his opus and to contemporary concepts of role and status of translation. Studies of this kind are not bound to rigid notions of period, but seek to investigate changing concepts of translation. Hence, the studies of past translators and translation focused more on the influence on the effect of the TL product rather than on the processes involved in the creation of the product. Susan Bassnett thus establishes certain lines of approach to translation by following a loosely chronological structure. Susan clearly explains that word for word and sense for sense lines can be seen emerging again and again with different degrees of emphasis. The translation studies is indeed a rich field for future research. The students, we can meet in the next video, the history of translation part 3b.